the D-isomer despite what anyone tells you, because they're probably used to shit meth. It is not your tolerance. You should not be able to burn through a gram in a day. A gram of good meth should keep you going for days, without even feeling tired. If you can smoke a point and you feel tired 5 hours later, it's buckshot and you should get a new supplier. Tell everyone, or quality will never increase. Pro tip: meth is not like a diamond. Color/clarity/weight do not mean anything unless you know its chemical composition. Post by Starlight Express. Absolutely. I just wanted to get the S operations down solid with enough supply flow before I branch off into other expanded areas. What country are you in? +A+. Post by Nidinid. I empathize with you entirely. After similar experiences, I made a firm rule that any girl that I actually like, will not use crystal/know that I use it. I save the crystal for the sluts that I use for sex/don't know where I live. Once you turn a woman on to crystal, she'll become a fiend that will steal your shit, and fuck you over. Definitely don't want to be living with someone that you have to watch 24/7 when you're already paranoid. Haha. Post by Wadozo. Fair enough say. I'm sure you get swamped with just US orders alone, so going worldwide will require a lot of work to maintain your stellar reputation. With that said, the potential rewards are infinite. I live in ounce. Good luck with it all and I hope we hear from you sooner rather than later. Post by 1C3. Permaculate unregistered trademark, the pinnacle of purity meth. Wow, I want some. Anybody tried it? Us only, unfortunately. Post by You Will Never Know. Status, in transit. Buyer, You Will Never Know. Seller, Professor Twack, 90. Item, Now You're Talking. 1.0 gram shard. Quantity, 1. Shipping, first class, international or domestic. Postage, $0. Total price, $135.47. Ordered, June 11, 2012, 1:28 p.m. UTC. Shipped, June 11, 2012, 11:33 p.m. UTC. This was when I was supposed to receive my DCN, or the next day at the latest. Read and believe what you want. Seeing that he singled me out should show enough that he did me more than wrong. Of course, I also never received a fucking update until now. Happy fucking Father's Day everyone, and to Prof, just get me the money back without affecting my refund rate, which is fucking 0%. You told me a straight up bold-faced lie 3 times in a row. I don't want this in resolution, and apparently this is the only way to get your attention. Post by Prof T. My page is pretty clear. I drop to my mailer and she distributes across many locations after filling the orders. Sometimes she gets it off that night, sometimes the next day. Sometimes even the next day. My page is pretty clear about this. If I said it was mailed, I apologize. I provided you with a DCN and said it should show up in the system the next day, I believe. I would have sent you an update, but guess what? I can't. I can't send anyone one except here. I responded to your message with a DCN even though I do not like send confirmations until I can verify the DCN shows up in the system, but when some buyers simply refuse to acknowledge that policy, then I send them early. That is what happened to You'll Never Know. I believe there was somewhere around 5/6 messages within 12 hours asking to be confirmed. Even though my guidelines are so very clear. I only have 3 buyers that continuously ignore my requests to do this. When someone orders, I try send a PRRE confirmation saying when it will depart. I don't send another email until I can confirm it has mailed. I sent the above post to his early, because he blew up my inbox with about 10 messages. I shipped him last week. I was called a liar and a few other things. I touched back with him and gave a DCN. I was then told that I was still lying. Well, guess what? The package showed up with the correct DCN and the DCN never showed up in the system until it was actually delivered. So I wasn't lying, and that is that. It's okay. I refunded him before that anyway, and asked him to pay $50 after he received it for about 0.8 grams. So, fuck it, if other vendors are better, then cool. I am only interested in doing square business. Some folks need to have more information than I am willing to provide. Yeah, it's annoying, and I understand that. But then just find another vendor. I'm pretty fucking down to earth. I'm going to refund you. If you don't like the refund rate, then maybe you should stop acting like a child and accusing everyone of screwing you. Order your shit before it's a to-the-wire transaction. You don't owe me anything, nor do I owe you. Good luck to you in your future endeavors. I'll be right here pleasing the people I can please. Don't order from my menu going forward. I'm not going to argue. My account is locked. Guess what? I'm a bit peeved too. Finally have found a way that works for me and people seem to be okay with, and it is here to stay. I'm sorry that my service levels are not going to meet your needs. I hope that you find a vendor that can help you meet your needs, but it certainly isn't me. I wish I had the staff and infrastructure to send order acknowledgement, then in-transit confirmations, then DCNs, but the thing is that would about 90 emails a day. Then the other 100 or so inquiries would never get opened. So while I understand that hey, it's only 5 words and take maybe a couple minutes, but there are not just a few of you and I'm a one-man show. Good luck with your new vendor. IWLL refund your order as soon as I can log in. No hard feelings, but we have different expectations for delivery. Plain and simple. I would suggest that anyone reading my page should follow the process and get shots with the expectations I have listed. Sorry to lose a customer, but we all got to do what we got to do and the return on the investment is not good for me. Good luck to you. You can destroy that DCN. I had your package reclaimed. Other buyers need a DCN or confirmations, send me a message. I got you. Post buy, you will never know. I'm just going to post the fucking messages that I still have on this fucking forum, so that no one will fall for this constant bullshit. You never gave me a DCN and you're reclaiming my package? Fuck off. Show everyone the goddamn DCN, and we can all track that motherfucker to see exactly where, when, and how the fuck you are going to reclaim it. Do not make me look like the fucking liar here. That's just fucking sorry. Look at his other dissatisfied customers, and you will see I'm not trying to pick a fight. Locked yourself out of SR, okay. The truth will be here soon enough. Goes to show that even the friendliest of people will do this shit to the people that treated. Emphasis on the verb tense, you better than 99% of the people that have dealt with you. Doubt the two, like I said. If you want the messages posted publicly, that's your own doing, you dick. Post by, Prof T. Go ahead and post any message I've ever sent to you. I'm standing by anything I've said in any of those messages. I would post all of yours, but I would hate to make this thread another 10 pages long on one post. I apologize if I misspoke above when I said I sent you a DCN. I thought that was the last communication, but guess what? I have no idea because I am locked out of my account. You think I'm lying? Well, you can see messages pleading for my vendor life to the moderators and admins here on the forum, and you emails to and from SR support beginning over 24 hours ago. So I guess you can call me a liar, just like you called me a liar last week when I said I shipped your package and I had, and you did get it, and it was the right DCN that could be tracked to, so that I sent it before you started telling me I was lying. So I don't have anything to lie about. I said yours was mailed. I should have said dropped. Packages are dropped to the mailer, then actually mailed by her. So yeah, I have a DCN, but since I told her to hold your package today, it will never hit the system. I last logged on Thursday evening. At that time I still had about 10 outstanding orders in my queue, and 4 more with the mailer. Yours was one of those 4. She was waiting for me to provide the next batch, of 10, and postage, in which case she would drop the 4 outstanding with them. Yours was one of the 4. So it was delayed a day. These type of things are the reason that I say your package isn't late until after 8 days. Of course, that is another item on my page that is stated. Not late until 8 days. I'm not going to fight with you. I have reclaimed your package from my mailer. It is actually a simple process. I call her and say, hey, XXXX, don't drop that package for XXXXXX. Then she takes it out of the group and sends back with the previous day's DCNs. So I guess that solves the mystery of how I reclaim a package. So, I guess start posting your PMs and spend a couple hours showing everyone how much of an asshole I am. Show them that I promised a Tuesday mailing and it went on to Thursday, which I can acknowledge is not ideal. However, it doesn't make me a lying, stealing person. Your last package was made on a Sunday. It took almost a week to arrive, Thursday or Friday I believe, via FCM. Make sure you show them all the messages in between the order placement and the order arrival. Let them get a feel for how my inbox sometimes looks like your personal private customer service queue. Man, you've been nice to talk to over the months and I have always bent over backwards to get you product. I've sent you plenty of orders when you didn't have the money yet, on faith. How many of those? 2, 3, 4? I've sent you extremely large orders to make up for a couple of late packages. Hell, I sent you one order that was like 2/3 grams of coke when you ordered 5 or 1 gram or something. Never asking for anything in return. Did I ever write and ask for the money? Nope. I waited for you to write me, and really never thought twice about it. Make sure you post those messages too. How many vendors on here send out product like that? I guess I should have started sending a PM an hour from the time it is delivered, but that isn't really my style and I feel like it works. You have held up your end by paying for the advanced shippings, and I have always sent any product you have ordered plus a few grams of extras. So you don't owe me and I don't owe you. The fucked up thing is, I should be apologizing to you. The package was 24 hours late and normally you would get a huge apology from me on this. I mean, I know my shit was late. But instead of considering that something might have held it up like being locked out of SR, I'm automatically a lying bastard that is ruining your Father's Day. Well shit. I guess me and the other vendor you are dogging out are in some way trying to make sure you are sober on Father's Day. I'm done with this. I will refund your money once I have regained access. That's right, I'm still locked out and still not able to view my inbox. I will begin shipping everyone else's orders. I would suggest you already make your feedback a 1/5 because I will not be shipping your current order or any future order. Our business is done. I guess have fun posting all your PMs. I'm going to go take a shit and wipe my ass with your package. Post by, you will never know. You know what's true and what's not. I wouldn't post any vendor's personal communications. Don't make me to be the liar, here is what I said. Just let me know when I can get my money since you're wiping my ass with the package. Too bad I don't have the last package, so that everyone could see the postmark. Like you said, I hate it ended that way, but you have made an ass out of me one too many times. This goes all the way back to my initial feedback. Just get everyone else their shit, and get my money to me sooner than later. Please and thank you. Post by, Hassan Isabar. I haven't had the time this last week to get high, let alone sit down and write a review, which I wish I didn't have to write. I received 1.5 grams from marijuana is my muse on WED. The day he stopped shipments due to negative feedback his product being bogus. Like MSM etc. This, mind you, is just a review of this one order, it is not meant as a judgment on the vendor. The first thing I noticed which was unusual was that these shards did not arrive as the chunks he had previously sent me, they were all small particle-like. As always, I put half a dozen into my bowl and fired it up, they melted differently and I couldn't draw in a whole lot of smoke. When cooled the shard did not recrystallize. It looked more like a brownish melted wax and unlike previous times. I didn't feel a fucking thing. I proceeded to chop up small fine lines. Upon snorting, yeah, they did burn. But that's about all they did. No adrenaline rush, no euphoria, just a big massive headache. I repeated this experiment the following day thinking that maybe I was in the wrong, or that I was being swayed by all these MSM cut meth reports coming onto the forum. Despite this second try, the results were the same. Now, I've been doing hard drugs for about 25 years now. I don't need a chemical analysis to tell me what's the real thing and what's fake. I feel bad for doubting all the earlier reviewers who said that this batch was bunk. But without a doubt this recent batch sent out by MIM is def not meth. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it isn't what I ordered. I really don't understand what could have happened here. Up until now everything I have received from this vendor has been absolutely outstanding and legit. For now, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and just assume that he doesn't use the product himself, which can be a good thing as you are a regular here on the SMF scene, and that he doesn't do a chemical analysis before he sends it out. MIM went above and beyond in terms of service. I applaud him for taking down his meth listings when the negative feedback became consistent. I just hope this was just an honest mistake and that he can correct this situation. I feel sorry for any honest buyers who were feed for this batch. It really sucks to have this happen with a domestic vendor who I totally and completely trusted. I hope this vendor intends to honor any orders that were filled using this particular batch. I'd like to think that he still values me as a loyal customer and wants to continue doing regular business. P.S. MIM, if you all have read this, please get back to me via the forum here or PM ASAP. I am just really confused here. I don't believe that I've been unfair in this review. Thanks. Post by Costello 143. Hi to all. I received the meth from Crystal Wife and Min. I have tested the meth from CW with a IS test. I will post the photo on Monday, Tuesday. I'm waiting for another IS test for test the Min meth. I don't know a lot about meth. I received the meth from Min. The first thing I saw it was not habitually was the odor. This meth has a special odor, smell. Have anyone test that? All my other order on ESA was totally unsmell, odorless meth. After in the mth pipe, the meth recrystallized but it turned very quickly to a strange color. Brown, gray. And when the dose come to the end it's difficult to finish the dark brow drop. Normally with VMM or WG meth, I smoke all and at the finish there is only a small residues mark. Now, I'm asking the meth SR community, what does you think? I'm not specialist, it's a fact, but instinctively I was not happy. Other question, this story of garbage met from Min come from a guy who said it was cutted at 2i, but I saw there is a cup named MSM. This cut can be detected by his test? Does MSM react the same thing of meth on the colorization of the his test? P.S. I have finalized because I always finalize orders and can change feedback. I hope Min can be professionally and can resolve this situation for us. Post by RR. Has my UK order been shipped, Professor? It was marked shipped 6 days ago. I did PM you when I placed order but you didn't read it. So an update would be nice as international don't get DCNS, thanks. Post by Nathan Spinner. I got my order of MJMM and it was for my mate and has never done meth and was shooting it. I never seen it but he said it was small crystals. He did tiny bit and said it didn't really do much but said he did a lot more and it was alright, but I think he was doing it with H and crack at same time and he seemed happy with it, but this was Friday and he said on Sat it makes you feel dirty and then today said has only just started feeling normal and it feels like his brain was stretched. What the fuck, he never wants to do meth again, so maybe that's a good thing. I never mentioned it might not be meth. I think it's been established it wasn't meth, but does real meth have a bad come down? Post by RR. I wouldn't say it has a bad come down, it's easy managed with weed, it's more of a completely extorted feeling, and a slight headache, it's less of a come down than MDMA for example. This is where the weed comes in, and if the worst comes to the worst and I can't sleep, 30 to 50 milligrams of diazepam knocks me out for a day or two. Tongue face. Post by ThatFish89. Well, that sucks balls. I'm currently making another attempt to get high off Twox gear tonight. So far a complete fail. I'm awaiting on some bunk shit of MIM, which I have a feeling is never going to reach me anyhow, We're up to day 20, and CW's order is a good week late, so probably not going to show either. I spread small orders over several vendors as a fail-safe against scams, customs interceptions and other bullshit, and it looks like I'll get 0/3. I'm very disappointed with Twok's stuff. Although he has had some delivery problems of late, I have heard nothing but rave reviews about his product. This time around I got excellent speedy service and far from speedy meth. I just had to go and rummage through the bin to find his envelope on the off chance I mistook his for Mims, but no, it's Def's his. Oh well. In a few days I'll be back in Cambodia, where the best fuel I've ever had costs $30 a gram and can be sourced from the tuk-tuk driver who'll give me a lift from the airport to my apartment. I even considered opening up my own vendor profile and selling off-topic shit from there. But the thought of spending the next 15 years in a Cambo jail cell with 12 other dudes fighting over delicacies such as rat shit and cockroaches quickly diminished any possibility of that ever happening. Post by RR. Who are MMJM and Express? Whoever are these American vendors that us in the UK can't see? Post by RR. Also, I did message DubG but got no response, so I am not going to order off a vendor who can't even reply to a message. Why is the meth game so frustrating? On the plus side, my order of the company has been marked as shipped, but my professor order could turn up at any time, don't know when it was sent, so another frustrating one. Post by ThatFish89. Please report back on quality. I hate to bitch and moan, but I am at a loss as to why I seem to be the only guy to have ever received total garbage. Post by Wadozo. ThatFish89. Sorry to hear the troubles you're having with acquiring some meth at the moment. One thing I'll say is don't give up on Crystal Wife just yet. I've ordered off them over 10 times to ounce and every package arrived in 5 to 9 days without fail. They're friendly, ship within a matter of hours or at the latest within 24 hours, stealthily packaged and awesome meth. You only have to look at their feedback and read the buyer's comments to know how good they are. They have never asked me to a fee, even for my first order, so couldn't tell you their position on that matter. I must say that not having even one package turn up out of 3 from different vendors is a little strange. If those 20 days are working days, then I'd be surprised if they showed up now. However, if it's been 3 weeks, they could still show. That's happened to me a few times now, and trying to be patient when you're stinging for some meth is fucking hard. Are you a little concerned that 3 packages from 3 different vendors haven't turned up? I would have all these thoughts circling round in my head as to what really happened, or maybe that's cause I'm shit-faced and I'm having some trouble getting my brain to function in any capacity at the moment. Hope they show this week for ya and all is good. Then after a couple of pipes, put that mess behind ya. Post by Costello 143. How can we detect if the min meth is cutted with MSM? Post by ThatFish89. Haha, thanks man. I have ordered of CW before, which is why I'm concerned. It's never taken this long to get to me before. I was marked in transit 10 days ago, although we had the fucking Queen's Day and 2 Sundays to boot, so maybe tomorrow I'll get a surprise. As I've said, I did receive of Professor Twat, but it's of really poor quality. Burns within seconds, no rush and headaches. Communication with him was excellent and shipping time fast, so maybe I'm the 1 in a million who has to be sacrificed on quality to appease the meth gods for all else. I doubt it would have been a malicious rip-off anyhow. Mim's stuff has yet to arrive too, but seeing his greatest fan, Hosanna Sabbath, has given him a shitty review. Whatever does come through is likely to be less than satisfactory. Glad to hear you're rushing anyhow, tongue face. Peace. Post by Wadozo. I'm sure it should be Mim. Marijuana is my muse, and Express is Starlight Express from US. Messaged him yesterday and asked when or if he will post internationally, and he will be soon once he gets everything prepared so he can handle the influx of orders he'll receive. By all reports, his meth is fantastic, has excellent, friendly customer service and ships daily without fail. I respect Say for not starting until he was ready and able to cope and continue to provide the level of service he already offers to his US customers. Some other vendors took on the job of offering products worldwide without much thought and as such, have fallen behind and upset many of their customers. That's breaking the number one rule in business, which is to keep your customers happy. Post by Prof T. Hey fish, I guess I'm hanging out on the boards while I wait forever to be reset. Okay, so not getting your PM's read can be a bit frustrating. But I know how it is and I'm trying to be reasonable. It was my mistake after all. Anyway, I want make sure everyone is happy. I'm not sure what the issue with yours is. That batch was sent to many folks without complaint. But regardless, I apologize for any potency issues. I will double your next order for the trouble. Just gimme a reminder when you order. I think I know who you are. I don't have tracking for you, but I do have a DCN that was scanned in on June 14th. Hopefully this has already left. He states PM me, on here, your username and he can provide for you. Post by, Yeah, of course I will. When did you get this order of Professor T? 'Cause I've seen on his feedback something about a resend because of a bad batch, don't know when it was but it does sound a while back. Have you told him about it? It's just I ordered of him because I am hearing that his product is absolute fire and got more coins at the ready to order. 2 grams next time. What did you think of CW's meth? I am not that keen on it, it okay but I find I don't get that rush I get off meth from the States. What was the result? Okay will do mate, thanks for the reply. Post by, Wadozo. Rushing, fuck me. That's an understatement. I swear I was just chased down my street by a Mars bar riding a push bike, yet I should be at home, preparing to get some sleep soon in readiness for work tomorrow. As if that's going to happen anytime soon. CW's shit is really good. Last time I was asleep in bed was Thursday night and haven't used that much of what I got, and to be honest, I am not even close to having a nap. That fish 89 either Monday or Tuesday will be good to you, or at least that's what the little man inside my head says. I should say that besides the crystal, there was Charlie from Sal, which is very nice, and some Molly involved which may have temporarily sent what's now left of my brain for a holiday without telling me. Sorry, I'm gibbering a lot, aren't I? Post by, And Professor T is not the only one with a password issue. Check the support threads, there is at least 2 other vendors with the same problem and it sound like support is stretched. Post by, Digitalding. I don't know if you are aware of this, but almost, if not all, the meth vendors here use the ephedrine PSE reduction methods. You do not get both isomers reducing ephedrine. Only the D. P2P dope is the only one that gives both isomers, and since methylamine is a bitch to get, I would think it's safe to say none of the batches on SR are P2P. Unless perhaps someone resells from Mexico, but I do not pretend to know about the logistics of meth. Would love to try P2P dope though, hint hint. I guess I should squeeze a review of Prof T's stuff. It's almost been 2 weeks since I received, but man, it was the best I have received on SR. It took longer than I had anticipated, but was worth the wait. Crystal clear shards. When they are that clear they are almost always fire. It was not a fiendish high and with little, if any, paranoia. I recommend PT's gear, but his turnaround times are not so great and customer service is more miss than hit, but his profile states that as well. Post by, Work for it 69. Dub G is a solid vendor, you should try him out. He seems to be away at the moment though. Here's a note from his vendor page. Attention! Dub G is out of town for a family emergency. I am doing the best I can to fill orders, but I am very overwhelmed. He will be back next week, so please bear with me, thank you. Post by, Okay, fair enough, I will give him a go once he is back. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. Post by, Hassan Isabar. Just curious, when you say Min I assume that you mean Mim, right? Your observations are totally spot on, dude, and I don't need a fucking easy test to tell me otherwise. However, I may consider doing the cheaper bleach test tomorrow, for what it's worth. FUUUCCKKKK, why is it mission impossible to have a consistent, decent shard supply? I suppose it just comes with the territory. Post by RR. I think I am onto a winner with Professor T. He seems like an honest guy and very friendly, although his customer services could do with a polish up, but that's not the most important thing here. The product is far more important to me and his recent reviews are out of this world. If all is good with my order he will have a customer for life. I just respect his blunt honesty. It's rare in a meth vendor. Post by Work for it 69. Hey, was wondering if someone can give me the lowdown on wet meth and if it's any worse better than receiving a dry product. Unfortunately I am biased and have only had bad experiences when sold to in this form, but would like to hear the cold hard facts before I go back and try to get a refund from the vendor. Thanks, any info is appreciated. Post by RR. I am not sure why people end up with a wet end product, think it's something to do with the way it's made, but in my experience a dry product is far better and far stronger. It should only melt when heat is present and a good meth will quickly recrystallize. I have had wet meth of CW and it wasn't as strong as VMM, TC, or Doff Boys, which are all stone dry products. I think someone with a bit more chemical know-how may be able to explain better, but I would always choose a dry product over a wet one. Post by Digitalding. I have never seen wet meth, but I can only imagine that is solvent that hasn't dried out yet. There should never be such a thing as wet meth cookers. Dealers, in a hurry, be careful if you see this. Could be water or acetone. Acetone will cause problems and it dries out pretty fast. There should be no reason this is left behind. Lay it out on a plate and dry this. I would be angered if I had received some wet dope. Don't accept bunk dope. Request that the seller make that right. By the way, did you get wet shit on SR? Post by RR. That's what I thought. CW's meth is always wet. I thought it was a way of increasing weight 'cause it don't smell of acetone. Post by Iplant Trees. I realized that I had made a mistake when posting. It has since been fixed to number 4 not number 5. That was a typo. Every order comes with DCN, and I am now shipping worldwide. Price has been reduced to $70 and $500 mg to get things flowing. Also, first 20 orders receive a free sample of one of my other products. Equals thanks. Trees. Post by Wadozo. I don't agree that CW's meth is always wet. Simply not true. I have purchased meth from them on numerous occasions, including his latest batch, and have never received any wet gear. They are a friendly and professional vendor and wouldn't ruin a stellar 100% feedback score and a reputation they have slowly built up from scratch by wetting his meth to increase the weight of the product. Take a quick look at both his recent and past feedback to get an idea of how they treat their customers. If this were to be true, and it's not, the increase would be minimal, as I can't picture you requiring large quantities of a liquid to make 1 g of meth wet. They aren't sellers of large individual quantities like some other vendors, which, in that case, would require considerably more liquid and perhaps be beneficial, if you were that way inclined, which CW isn't. That's only my opinion, but I'm looking at 1 gram in front of me now, which is bone dry, and you wouldn't need much to wet it. If you have indeed received some meth from CW which, for whatever reason, was possibly a touch wet, message them and I'm sure they would sort something out for you, because there is no way they have sent you wet meth deliberately. From my experience, customer satisfaction is important to these guys. They will go out of their way to help you and they want you to be happy with everything. Post by RR. Sorry if it sounded like I was having a dig at CW. It wasn't intended that way, but after reading it back it does seem to come over that way. But if you look back at their feedback like you told me to, you will see people do mention the fact it's a wet product. For a quick example, page 19 says this. Page 6. These are a couple I found just having a quick flick though. I was just giving an honest review of the product that I got. I have used the 4 times now and never got a bone dry product like what you're describing now. It has always come with moisture in the bag. And if you read though the feedback, you can see a lot of underweight comments. I am not saying they are a bad vendor, just not the best in my opinion. If they can explain what the reason behind the moisture is and why a lot of bags seem to leave underweight, then I am all ears. but I can go back to them weeks later and say I have a problem with quality cause I will look like a twat. But when people who clearly have better chemical knowledge than me say meth should never be wet, I have to ask the question, why is it wet? I will email them to ask the question and express my concern, and I will let you know what they say. The meth itself is not the worst I have ever had, just not as good as some I have had, but I was not trying to ruin their rep at all. But if you can't be honest, what is the point of the forums? Post by Wadozo. Sorry if I sounded like a prick, didn't mean to. Maybe an early night would help. What I meant and should have explained myself better, was you said their meth is always wet and you thought it was their way of increasing the weight, as it doesn't smell like acetone, but to cut a long story short, basically increase their profits. I've received 12 or 13 orders from them and can honestly say have never come across any wet meth. If I ever do, I have no doubt that CW would rectify the situation immediately and ensure I was now satisfied. They have always done the right thing with me, and as such, I just wanted people to know that if some of the meth is wet, it's definitely not a deliberate act on their behalf, and I'm sure if you sent them a message and outlined the problem, they would fix for you to your satisfaction straight away. These guys are very polite and a friendly meth vendor. Post by RR. No, you was right when I wrote it. I was half asleep and didn't really explain myself very well. I have emailed them not to demand a replacement but just asking them to explain why my orders have always been wet, and I will report back here and let you know what they have to say about it. I've ordered 4 times now and my last order was by far the worst. If I knew it have got a dry product, it have ordered my lastest order with them, as I can say their customer service and speed of shipping has always been spot on, but the product is the most important thing to me. I'd rather wait 2 weeks for an order from the States and get a nice product than a 2-day delivery of a wet damp product. Like I said in my email to them, I am not trying to dirty their rep at all. I am just giving an honest account of the quality of their product that I got. I am not an unreasonable person and would like to think of myself as an honest guy. I just thought their product was always that way and no one else seemed to be complaining, so I didn't either. It was only when Digitalding said meth should never be wet I started to question it, cause he sounds like he knows his stuff, more than me anyway. At work for it 69, who is the vendor in question? Post by ThatFish89. CW came through today. All's well. Post by RR. Okay, that was mega fast reply off CW. They got back to me within an hour at 7 AM UK time, so credit where credit is due. They were very sorry for the problems I have encountered, and have offered me 0.5G replacement. I was not expecting that, so I have to say CW has the best customer support I've come across in a long time. I will report back on quality and if it reaches me dry or not. Very impressed, and I will go back to using them if all are well. Top marks. CW, I can see you really do care about your customers. Post by Wadozo. Like I was saying before, these guys are a really professional outfit who always ensure their customers are happy. They're very well maybe Crystal out there, which is better than CW's. Hope I can't find it cause CW's meth is strong enough for me and I can barely function as it is. But after reading about some other meth vendors and all the bullshit associated with it, such as packages not turning up or even being shipped and having buyers finalize early only to learn their package fails to arrive. However, because the buyer has finalized early, they have no recourse through escrow and can only vent here in the forums. Unfortunately, I've noticed some pissed off and frustrated buyers on these forums who seem to have similar complaints and issues from certain vendors. I personally would much prefer the CW route, as they answer messages quickly and politely, ship same day always, 5 to 9 day international delivery, which has a 100% success rate for me personally, and best of all, never any problems, issues or hassles with anything. I really like their meth, and for me it's quite strong, up for 3 days now on a bender while on holidays and have thoroughly enjoyed it. 8. Post by Ridiculous. Same stuff I got. It's shitty to see more people being burned by MIM. I got 3.5 grams of pure cut and then suddenly 7G that he supposedly shipped got busted at his customs going out of the country. Since when does that even happen? Customs isn't screening stuff going out of the country. He did give me a stunning 25% refund on that 7G. Though. All in all, a major loss to me, biggest yet on SR. What a joke of a vendor. If anyone is still ordering from him hoping you'll get something that's decent, you're running a huge risk. There's vendors on here that are way better options. Don't risk it. We got fucked, so can you. Post by Costello 143. Exactly the same thing here. I'm not specialist meth, but this batch is not the same I received from other seller. Not the same specificities, smell, color of drop, etc. This meth give a brown drop with special crystallization. This is not meth. It's cutted product looking like meth. I have FE because I always FE for trusted member. I hope it's not a fault this time and Min can resend or refund me and the other people. We have crap product in our pipe. Mim, I'm open for propositions. You have to resolve this bad situation. We are waiting for proposition on this forum. Post by RR. Yeah, I totally agree with you. They are very professional and I am more than sure it was not done intentionally. They have been more than fair and I was not asking for anything, just an explanation, so that was a nice gesture on their part. Well done CW. Think you might have just won my custom back. Now I got 1/2G coming from the professor, 1/2 G from the company and now 1/2 G of CW. Man, am I going to be on a bender soon lol. Very happy indeed lol. Post by Wadozo. Awesome RR, you're up for a big one when that all hits town. You watch how quick it arrives, it will be there before you know it. Just on a general note, I'm still having trouble coming to grips with the amount of buyers who continue to finalize early for vendors, some trusted vendors and some just starting out, only to hear time and time again how they've been screwed and basically lost most if not all of their hard-earned bitcoins, or they may have been promised by the vendor that their order has been reshipped only to find out 2 weeks later that there won't be any gear coming. In my opinion, that is so fucked up that I'd be at a loss to find words which would adequately describe my level of anger and frustration at what this person could have done, not just to me, but to many others who handed over money in good faith and received nothing in return except for an occasional empty promise. Probably most worrying is whilst reading through these various threads, some buyers who were ripped off originally, lost their hard-earned money and haven't heard a thing for 3 months are actually trying to convince themselves, and perhaps some others who were also dudded, that he may have changed his ways, turned over a new leaf. Should be given a chance to redeem himself and is turning out to be an honest and reliable vendor after all, cause he offered to reship packages now to some buyers, not all, who have been waiting 3+ months to hear anything. For fuck's sake guys, how you would even entertain the thought of conversing with this person about anything after what happened, let alone allowing him back into the marketplace to carry on doing business as if nothing had previously happened. What is it that I'm missing here? Oh, I'm at a loss to explain why these actions are even tolerated by our community. Post by RR. Yeah, I know, I can't wait lol. D. And I guess you're talking about Mr. Milkman here? Yeah, I totally agree and have had a hard lesson or two myself as a buyer, and I stick to the rule no finalizing early on meth with no exceptions. If there is no escrow then I tell them to cancel my order. I feel sorry for the people who paid full balls, cause that's no joke and it's a big lump of change they lost. But to be fair, now I have 75 transactions under my buying belt and have spent 800 BTC and 0% refunds. No one asks a fee of me. As a vendor I only ask a fee for users with under 10 transactions, and my feedback is normally enough to reassure them that they will get their items. Post by Hassan Isabar. +1 astute observation dude. It seems like a lot of meth users are suckers for punishment. In fact, such masochism is indicative of a person who is ruled by their addiction, or is in other words, a junkie. Here are some basic tips on how not to get burned buying drugs on SR. 1. Never FE, never FE, never FE. Did you get all that? And if you do FE, you do so at your own risk. 2. Do not make large purchases. You are safer and less likely to get burned if you spread your purchases amongst several vendors. 3. Do your homework on vendors. Check customer feedback and the forum on vendors. Recent and consistent feedback is preferable to older or inconsistent feedback. Avoid vendors that display erratic, unpredictable behavior or who blame their customers for their mistakes. Consider the vendor's entire history. 4. Do not make the mistake of thinking that you have found the best undiscovered vendor in the world based on several purchases. Some of the best vendors often turn out to be the best scammers. Vendors are here primarily to make money, not friends. You want friends? Stick to Facebook. And last but not least, and perhaps most importantly, 5. Do not allow your addiction, to overrule your common sense or your bank balance. Of course, this list is not conclusive. If anyone has anything else to add, by all means do so. Peace. Post by, you will never know. Just to update you guys on my express order that was shipped on Tuesday through Big Skimes, it's still not here, and he has not logged in over a day. I'm to the point of wanting my money back at the very least for the shipping now, and I really don't want the damn product seeing that I've replaced it twice over now. Lies after lies after lies. I guess this is what you should expect from these sorry-ass vendors, with the exception of a special someone. I asked for the tracking number, and that message has gone unread. This guy is a waste of your time. Post by, whatever works. This should be number 1 really, Emu. Thankfully, I've never lost money, just sanity hair time. I do not forgive easily and never forget, and the only vendor who I will never deal with again is Professor Twack. Even if he was the last dealer on earth, he would not earn my money. And I'd like to say it again. I really appreciate everyone taking the time to post about their experiences with the various dealers, why I started calling them vendors, IDK. We're all better off for it. The dealers included. Post by, work for it 69. This was from WG. I bought it over 1 month ago from him but didn't open it until yesterday, and to be honest I was quite upset. Unfortunately this was due to past experiences though, and I have nothing scientific to back it. Does anyone else have any data to back Digitalding's claim up with before I go ahead and start working on getting a refund? I dried about 20 milligrams and gave it a go but got absolutely nothing from it. Before anyone starts in about it being a low dose, I should tell you that I still only need 250 milligrams to get me high and going strong for a weekend. I usually take 20 milligrams hits every 3 to 4 hours. Fuck. I miss Heisenberg already, even after all the shit I went through with him. He is the only vendor that cleans his product, tests it out, and only then does he ship it out for the prices these other meth dealers are charging. That is the least they should be doing. Post by, Stick K-Finger. McGicutty Jones, however you spell it. Unreal product and communication and speed of delivery. This guy doesn't fuck around. I am surprised I didn't read a comment on him in the last few posts. Get on that. Post by, work for it 69. Shit, and I was just gonna place an order with this vendor. The vendor list for the USA is getting pretty thin and I'm kinda at a loss as to who to order from going forward now that H is leaving for good. Would be nice if Vroom Vroom popped back up. Gonna hold off on using WG until I get the wet meth incident sorted out. This thread is full of both positive and negative reviews for most of the remaining vendors, nothing out of the country for me. So I am at a loss as to who to order from. To add insult to injury, the prices have gone a little too north for my taste. What to do? What to do? What to do? Post by, you will never know. Update on Big Skimes. I just received a package from an individual from ISPS that was in a plain Jane car with no blinking lights or anything. I wasn't in at the moment, so it was left on my desk. Apparently, he chose the wrong envelope or paid for something the wrong way because it says $8.05 in postage was due. I'm not sure if whoever left it on my desk paid it for me or not. There's also all kinds of writing on it and the packaging looks like it's been through the wrong place or sitting somewhere it wasn't supposed to be for a long time. I will update on contents later. I'm afraid to even open it right now. I feel bubble wrap lol. Maybe he unintentionally did this, but when you're shipping express, you gotta make sure you choose the appropriate postage for the appropriate packaging. That's that. At least something came. Nonetheless, I'm quite paranoid given the situation, the way it was dropped off, never happens that way, and the extensive attention it must have gotten. He did not make clear who was the sender and who was the recipient, if that gives you any insight. Much improvement is needed sooner than later. Post by, work for at 69. Shit, you posted this at the same time I was asking for someone to recommend a vendor. Gotta be honest, I never heard of this guy, but his review thread is excellent. Gonna give him a try and will report back about my experiences with him. I can tell you right off though that he is gonna get some points off for his prices. Post by, Stick K-Finger. I hear you bro, but take a shot, maybe even literally two. Dude is no joke. Post by, work for at 69. Fucking hell, a mere hour after placing my order with him he's marked it in transit. So far so good. The most important thing will be quality though. I would rather wait a while than get something subpar. Post by, Stick K-Finger. It's good bro. Seriously. Let me know what you think. Post by, RR. I've heard some great things about his meth, but he only has 8 balls listed for UK. Post by, Torn. If you feel like you need to justify the higher price, order a gram, cut it yourself with something and then pretend you just paid for 1.5 gram instead. Post by, Stick K-Finger. Maybe you can find someone you can split it with and he can mail it to 2 separate locations. Post by, Hassan Isabar. Anyone interested in buying this mystery meth, 1.5 grams, I bought from Maria Winales Muse, is more than welcome to PM me anytime. Who knows, maybe you'll even catch a buzz from inhaling this mystery meth. Now you too can look hardcore without being hardcore. Impress all the ladies. Smoke mystery meth without risk of ever getting meth mouth. No reasonable offer refused. Will trade for real meth. Or a pack of Camel cigarettes. Caution, his marijuana may not even contain THC. Still awaiting results of EZ kit. Post by, McGillicuddy Johns. Yes, I ship quickly. Correct. I am no joke. 8. A true professional. X I only provide high quality products. D you will enjoy it. Everyone else has. I expect no different. Post by, Tabanoid. Dark Espresso Review. Ordered on Wednesday, received today. Good stealth shipping, good weight, good quality. Haven't IV'd yet but look forward to it. Post by, work for at 69. Nah, it's all good, I already did my calculations before ordering with him to justify paying almost 100 for a 0.5 gram this time around. If it is as good as his customer service I'll order an 8 ball and then a gram is only 130. Or better yet, maybe I will try to do a barter with him in the future and try to offload some of these assorted name brand painkillers I have and he can turn around and sell them retail on SS or some listings on his page. I have no desire to be a vendor, I imagine it must suck a great deal just by reading some of the posts made on this thread alone. Lol. Anyway, getting ahead of myself, looking forward to testing out the product and will report back. Hopefully his source is solid and reliable so I don't have to worry about those bad batches all these other vendors warn me about. Post by, Costello 143. The problem with the IS test is no. It's a qualitative test that says if yes or no there is a specific product, in no case meth. IS test is not viable because it is not a quantitative, percent of product. The IS test can react positive with a dose of the mystery meth, who contain 10% meth and 90% of the substance who don't react to the IS test. What is scientific is how the MIM meth turned quickly into a brown drop. The strange smell when open in the bag detected by my nose, that is scientific. Does MIM smoke meth? Or he sell only? Post by, Nomad Bloodbath. Thumbs up. Nomad Bloodbath. Post by, work for at 69. You're not the first meth vendor to swoop on in here and give us all hope. I really truly hope you can live up and maintain the image you have of yourself and don't slide into the inevitable SRS meth spiral that at some point or another always gets our best dealers. I am an optimist at heart though and am rooting for you to succeed. Good luck, and above all else treat us with respect and as adults with the truth, even if it makes you look bad. Good luck, man, hoping you can be our new go-to dealer. Just one word of advice, and if you follow this simple rule, your chances of success will increase greatly. I believe this above anything else is what gets our meth dealers sooner or later, and that is they get high on their own supply. Post by Hassan Isabar. He doesn't sell what he doesn't smoke. Yeah, he smokes all the meth and tries to pass his savings on to you. In addition to the AZ test results on the bad batch, I would like to see a urine test to determine meth use. Research by Fuck You Laboratories show that 99% of scams involving meth involved a dealer using meth. I am starting to wonder if this whole bad batch stuff is just an ideal excuse for dealers to maximize profits. By the way, I still have 1.5 grams of that mystery meth he sent me last week. I am only asking 2 BTCs or trade for a few cigarettes, or a really sexy photo. Act now before it's all gone. This is a priceless addition to your collection of classic Silk Road scams. Post by Synergicity. Another thumbs up for Dark Espresso. Very nice. I don't need to be treated like a dog when I order, thanks. Very quick, ordered Friday, arrived today, packaged very nice and stealth, and I'll be damned if it's not great stuff. I am still awake, didn't smoke much about 15 hours ago, and it left almost no residue in my bowl. Did I mention he was so prompt? I'll definitely be back. But don't you all go there, cause I think y'all do something to these vendors to make them get overwhelmed. Just let him take care of me, MMMKAY? Post by Digitalding. Wow, look at you, Synergicity. Already becoming the selfish tweak fiend tongue face. I am placing order then, D. Post by Digitalding. What claims are you referring to? Without more data from PPL asking, there's no way to judge what's in the product. Send me a gram and I'll tell you what's up with it, tongue face. If you are referring to wet dope, then go to the meth making forums and ask them if any of their products are wet. They will either laugh or tell you hell number cause they take pride in their shit. For Dub G's prices it's just not worth it to me. I couldn't get the high I wanted from his gram. No, from Vroom's professor is slow but fire. There are few upcoming vendors that are proving their metal. Starlight Express was supposed to get me hooked up but he had issues, so I cancelled my order. If you're here, Starlight, you still want to do that? Post by Pinkman. That's good. We need some downward price pressure on the meth market, and new vendors like Dark Espresso seem to offer it. What the fuck is up with the recent price hikes by Professor Twack and Heisenberg? They've decided to enter Dub GMCG premium price territory without the accompanying fulfillment rep. I was going to write a review on mid-tier vendors, but they just made their prices much less mid-tier. Either demand or brand loyalty is such that, despite their spotty service records and long wait times reported in feedback, their recent through-the-roof price hikes really don't affect them much, or, as I would hope those contemplating their prices would, for about the same price, choose to buy from MCG for the certainty that their order would be fulfilled ASAP. Sounds like Heisenberg's announced his last hurrah, so his price gouging is part of his plan to milk it while he can. Nevertheless, you would think the recent spate of affordable vendors like, say, Dark Espresso, TC, and Big Skimes with equal or better service records would at least apply some pressure to keep prices down. Post by Harpua25. Starlight Express is starting to worry me a bit. Anybody heard from him since his update about the psycho chick? Post by Pinkman. Well, he does have a day job that seems to keep him more than busy. On top of that, some psycho cunt running around with his wallet, car, and product sounds like it would keep him preoccupied until his next re-up. Post by Stick K-Finger. Just letting you know the Magilla Cutter John's price is a little premium, but that's because the product was a lot of premium shit, gives you brain boners. Post by Thatfish89. Post by Work for It 69. Sorry, but I cut down the post a bit because it's super hard to get through these threads when some posts are half a page long. Here is what Ara wrote me when I asked about people's experiences with wet meth. It was only when Digitalding said meth should never be wet I started to question it, 'cause he sounds like he knows his stuff, more than me anyway. Good to hear your thoughts on this, and it backs my experiences with wet meth in the past. Product was always super weak compared to anything else I got. I dried out and tested some of the Dub G batch, but it was weak as well. I have no doubt that Dub G will set this straight, though before ordering from him I asked him quite a few things and he said all the right things. One being that occasionally a bad batch goes out and he does refunds. He only had to do a handful since he's been selling. I also want to point out that he has a lot of great product reviews from others and he handled my order very professionally. I don't want to turn others off on him because of what happened to me on this one batch. Do your research like I did and you'll find he has a lot of satisfied customers. Okay, off to get in touch with him. Thanks for your input. Post by Synergicity. Selfish tweak fiend, hee hee. It have just kept my mouth shut if I really didn't mean for y'all to order up. Hope your transaction is as smooth as mine was. Post by Ketoljigdaxivin. Hey fellas, I'd like to give a big ups to Ozguy, no doubt the best Aussie ice dealer. His shipping and handling times are nothing short of amazing. Always next business day if order is placed in time for the express post pickup. Without going into a lot of detail, my last order from Ozguy came with what at first I thought was heavily cut product. Later Ozguy identified that one of his batches was heavily cut with 2ME and I was the unlucky one to receive it. He immediately refunded the full BC amount and took his listings offline and got doing QA on all his product. Once he put his listings back up we had a quick chat and he was very happy to send me almost half of my original order express post for free. Now this stuff is what I was looking for in the previous order. Wow, really strong and clean smoke from these shards, thanks Ozguy. Post by Costello 143. The meth of MIM have no effect, nothing, no rush, can sleep. Total shit. Hope he can resend other product or refund. Post by Hassan Isabar. Another meth vendor with plenty of meth drama. Nothing new here. I just hope he holds it together long enough to honor his orders. Remember folks, never FE. Post by Work for It 69. Can someone please shed some light on this weird ass occurrence that I recently heard about? I've never had it happen to me, nor have I ever heard of it happening to someone else. Have any of you ever purchased a bag of shards ice and stored it in a cool dry place for a month or so and have it turn into liquid on you? Please, if anyone has had this happen to them or if someone can make an argument as to why this is the dumbest things they've ever heard, it would be greatly appreciated. Apparently I was told by my vendor that it was my fault the meth he sold me turned back into liquid. Like I told him, though I had 4 other samples of meth from other vendors in the same place and for the same amount of time and had no problems with them. Thanks for any help. Post by Hassan Isabar. That is truly fucked up, dude. The last time I had problems like that was during my very brief experimentation with that nonsense known as European speed paste. To snort it you had to heat it in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes and that enabled you to chop it up into fine lines. I made the mistake of leaving a few lines out too long and they fucking liquefied. Then I put it in the freezer, etc, etc. It barely gave you enough of a buzz to do this fucked up science. The only meth I've ever known is hard like rice and clear like ice. Good luck with that shit, bro. Post by Wadozo. Just wanted to get any thoughts from buyers about the meth they purchased off the vendor, Big Skimes. I'm not sure what to make of it, to be honest. Looks okay, which means nothing really, but after smoking some, I don't feel as though I'm as high as I should be. I have 3 different samples from 3 different vendors at the moment, with each having some different qualities. Can someone please advise me on what qualities good meth has and what to look out for? I realize that testing it with a test kit will give you a definitive answer, however I guess what I'm saying is that is there any things such as does crystal have a smell or is it odorless, burning properties or things of that nature which may help in defining what is good or bad stuff? Post by Wadozo. You will never know. The package you've described sounds similar to the one I received from BSM, only mine was left in the mailbox. There was a note on it, written in the US as the date was written in the format month day, stating return package to customer as it requires a customs form and extra postage as it was international mail plus some other scribble I couldn't make sense of. Don't for the life know why they use an A4 size envelope to send a little meth. Easily the worst packaging I've come across. What do you think of his meth? Post by Wadozo. Like I've said here many times before, Crystal Wife is a professional and reliable vendor who literally want to please their customers and retain their 100% feedback. They buck the trends of your typical meth seller, and have been nothing but faultless in all my transactions with them. Post by, you will never know. BSM's gear isn't the worst I've had by far lol, but good lord the effin' packaging. I was scared to open it lol. Post by, Digitalding. $10 says that this is selenium, this is that Easter bunny dope that has no amphetamine at all. You remember that cras where people were sticking gun blue and activated charcoal and other shit in an aquarium? With strings hanging down after a month huge crystals will grow. Well those selenium crystals look like dope and I have heard that after so long they will lose their stability and I guess turn to liquid. Post by, Wadozo. Wow. As they say you learn something new every day 8. Post by, Digitalding. For real? As much as you praise Crystal Wife shouldn't you know what good stuff is now? Post by, Wadozo. Yeah, for real. Nice to see you've taken note of me giving some praise to a great vendor. If a vendor does the right thing by a buyer, shouldn't they acknowledge that here on the forum by writing an honest review of their experience? No need to be so cynical when I, as just a buyer and user of meth, was only inviting others to enlighten me on the subject if they had a more intimate knowledge of meth than I do. Oh. I didn't realize that I had to know what good stuff is because I happen to praise one of the better vendors on SR. I judge any meth I get by just fucking smoking some and seeing how I feel. Post by, Wadozo. Thanks ABC 123 Nuthin. Post by, Work for it 69. Monroy Lane. Seems like you had all of the bad experiences I had with shitty ass speed paste in Germany also. In addition I was also sold meth paste from a dealer there and had a similar shitty ass experience with it as well. From my understanding heating speed paste won't do much harm to the product and you won't lose much in the process. Potency still sucks though, but from what I have been reading doing the same with liquefied meth will kill the potency and you will lose a lot more in the process. So basically this confirms why this meth I was sold did shit all after I chopped the fuck out of it and let it sit and dry. Thanks for your reply. Post by, Work for it 69. Fuck man that is a new one on me, thanks for the history lesson. I tried to give Dub G the benefit of the doubt but his first response to me was basically that's how it goes and that it had also happened to another of this customers. No apology or information on how and why this chemical reaction took place. I replied and asked nicely that I would like to believe him but he would need to provide me with a scientific explanation. The fact that it happened to another of his customers means shit all. In addition, I asked him to explain why only his sample did this and not any of the others I had from other vendors. He gave me a full refund and asked that I don't order from him again. Post by, Digitalding. I don't think that's such a bad thing. I regret I paid his prices for subpar dope. I did a whole gram of his 1 3 or 4 hour and was asleep by 14 hours later. I didn't give him a bar rating though I should have. I just chose to go elsewhere and I am glad I did. I like Prof T Starlight seems to be the shit now. Dark Espresso is on the rise. Post by, Digitalding. Who you waitin' on ABC? 12 diff vendors? Post by, Gary Dog. Lol ABC 123. I used to read your posts when you had this shit coming, or this shit just arrived. Oh getting another 7G tomorrow. I was thinking fucking gone son. Madman right there. But Dub G's shit lasts me all night off just 1 or 2 pipes if I put in a reasonable amount and as a meth noob I thought 2 grams would do me 1 or 2 night session. Ha 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 how wrong I was. Post by, Fried Rice. If you're worried about your meth absorbing moisture put your baggie in a larger baggie with one of those little Silcia packets. You know those crystals that are in a little paper packet and they are in the box when you buy new shoes or some food things like flatbread or sushi seaweed. These little packets absorb the moisture so your product doesn't. Post-buy, digitalding. For one, you do not have to quote everything to get your point across. You can make edits so the post don't take up an entire page and every third post you make is a biography on CW. She's a good vendor, great for you. I am happy for you. I brag on Prof T but I try not to take up whole page. PLS, don't be afraid to summarize, or you can just say, hey digitaled face, without quoting my whole paragraph. Just trying to make things easier on the eyes here. Post-buy, Tabanoid. I thought I posted this last night but it didn't make it, I guess. Dark Espresso, his gear has some legs, rolled a few hits at 3 p.m, topped off at 8 p.m. with about 3 pulls from pipe. No sleep for this monkey that night. Next day was worn out but not so much sleepy. Some shit I bought on lets me sleep about an hour or so after the last bowl, you tell me. Post-buy, Synergicity. I completely agree, Tabanoid, no sleep for me at all the night before last, went to bed about 2:30 this morning and my ass is dragging today. Puff puff. Wake me up, friend. Thanks again Dark Espresso. Post-buy, Hassan Isabar. Just started a new thread on behalf of new meth vendor. Dark Espresso. You couldn't have come at a better time when many of the current vendors have or are about to go. Well, due to predictable meth drama or whose outrageous prices are in no way justified. Any vendor that delivers fast, stealthy packages of stellar jib is always a welcome presence here on Silk Road. Please do your fellow drug fiends a favor, help starving kids in Africa, and provide detailed reviews on this new promising vendor. Thank you Jesus. Just say no to Silk Road scammers. Don't tweak on my dime jerk-off. Mim. Post-buy, Thatfish89. Okay. Out on a limb here guys. A mate of mine from NZ bought some of CW's shit off me with the intent on taking it back with him, I mean ounce. He plans of stuffing it up his cornhole, a tried and true method of transportation. Question is, will it melt in his ass, and if so, will it recrystallize upon retrieval? I'm sorry to lower the topical standards on the meth thread, but he has but 12 hours until his flight. Post-buy, Hassan Isabar. Fuck man, and I just finished a bowl of porridge with brown sugar for breakfast. RALPHHHHHHH. Nasty. Very nasty. Not a nutritious way to start the day. Post-buy, Mocha. Anyone heard from Heisenberg lately? I'm hoping he's alright. He just went quiet 6 to 7 days ago and I haven't heard any activity from him since. Just wondering since his page says, June 15, 12. Shipping Saturday through Monday. But multiple packages are not marked as in shipment yet. Anyway, just thought I would make a friendly inquiry. P.S. Sorry, I'm new here, to the forums, but not to ESA. Been on ESA for a long time and I always get awesome service from Heisenberg, so this latest behavior has me a little worried. Post-buy, Harpua25. A PM I sent to him 3 days ago is still unread, which is not like him at all. He sometimes takes a day or so to get back to me, but it's usually quicker than that. Also hoping everything's alright. Post-buy, Mocha. Well, thanks for the reply Harpua25. Glad I'm not the only one concerned, hope he turns up soon. Post-buy, Thatfish89. Lol, thanks for the reply man. But seriously, does anyone know? I had a friend a while back stack some really potent shit down his sock only 15 minutes from the dealer to his house and it had melted. Will this happen to my mate whilst he transporting? Post-buy, Hassan Isabar. Just make sure he ain't flying into the USA. Under the Patriot Act and under the watchful eye of the Department of Homeland Security, and the NSA, etc. Anyone who looks remotely like a drug user, yawns, appears restless, nervous, nods, has track marks, or wears tie-dye will be ruthlessly and publicly fisted by a man-hating lesbian or a bi-curious, but repressed, GD-fearing heterosexual male. With big knuckles. Ouch. The anus was not designed for such abuse. Wearing adult diapers is a def turn-off for any female you wanna get busy with. The last time I had a babe over I had to shove my intestines up my poop chute. She beat the Olympic record for fastest female sprint. I was stuck trying to bust a nut surfing Bikut Redcar videos all night with Stim Dick. Good luck man, fuck the Taliban and God bless Google. P.S. My sincere apologies to SR females for such crude details. I was married once. I know how they think. Post by ThatFish89. Rutfimore. Okay, congrats on the hilarious, I actually mean it, that made me giggle, post. But, I'm simply asking. Do you think that meth, triple wrapped, upper rectum, will melt? And will it recrystallize? Post by Hassan Sabar. Yeah. Exactly, but we are still awaiting those results and he doesn't seem too anxious to refund or reship. He clearly is not holding up his end of the bargain, which is to provide real product. Even a little mentally delayed child in a dark room could tell that the shit he sent was totally bogus. Mim is clearly stubborn as a mule and is probably tweaking on my dime. After years of drug abuse I ain't as pretty as I used to be. Do you know how many dicks I'd have to suck just to earn $220? Bucks? 5 fucking years 24/7 behind the local pawn shop. The thing is, I don't even like sucking dick. It wouldn't be so bad if I was a homo. But I am not. Now all the kids at school call me a cum guzzler. Do you know how that makes me feel, dude? Hello? Are you even there? Oh fuck it. Anyways, thanks for nothing. Payback's a bitch. P.S. Do you have any weed that will relieve the pain from getting ripped off on a shitty meth order? Yeah, thanks. I love you too, Hassan Kso. Post by Harpua25. Has anybody else noticed that the SR meth scene has become an unmitigated cesspool of incompetence, or is it just me? Post by X8MX. Ain't just you, brother, nothing is consistent or hassle-free for this product. Hope Say lands back on his feet, sigh. Post by Work for It 69. Yeah, seems like something maybe up. Got a message from his 7 days ago telling me exactly when his new shipment was coming and a promise that I was literally on top of the list and that I would be the first to get my package. Got another MSG from him the next day that his shipment arrived as planned, but then radio silence. I average about 1 message with him a day, but he has not read anything since receiving. Strange thing is that he has been on SR regularly all week according to SR. So if H has kept his promise, then nobody else got anything from him yet, because I surely haven't. I do know that his health problems are serious though, and hopefully he is okay. Post by Mocha. Thanks for your reply as well. I suppose we will all be keeping an ear out for him then. Best wishes. Post by Spotnik. I think the company sounds pretty promising. Reasonable prices, perfect score, and people are saying it's pretty good quality. Plus on their page it says anything else is uncivilized. I'm guessing this means they're either really careful with distillation, or don't cut it a whole lot, or at least wash it well or something. I'm just waiting for my Bit wallet to finish syncing so I can have my Bit dollars, then I think I'll gonna order up a Pages 5 from the company. This'll be my first ordering goodness online experience, and I'm pretty effing excited. I still can't believe this is real. Post by Work for It 69. Just a quick update on my transaction with McGillicuddy Johns. Order was placed a couple of days ago using his free priority shipping method and was processed in record time. Went out today to check the mail and was extremely surprised to find a package had arrived already. I'll be the first to say that I don't get the fascination with shards that others share, but one look at these and it made much more sense to me. Weight was almost double what I ordered. My only complaint was that I never got a tracking number. Unfortunately, since I am now on the end of an unintentional 5-day run, I won't be able to provide a review of the product until I get some well-needed rest. Until then. Post by, Digitalding. Don't fall for gimmicks. 90% of what is said on these profiles are BS anyway. I am not saying the company is bad, but they got reviews. Don't look to the vendor profile for assurance. That's what these threads are for. Good luck with your order and let us know how it goes. Post by, Nomad Bloodbath. Heads up, the gear is high quality. This is to remind everyone, gentle on the heat and you will get that sweet bubblegum flavor. Nomad. Post by, Labot Barn. I'm simply asking. Do you think that meth, triple wrapped, upper rectum, will melt? And will it recrystallize? /quote. It should not melt. The anus is just a tad warmer than the rest of the body, which isn't nearly enough to melt it. And in the even that it did melt, and it won't, yes, it would absolutely recrystallize when removed from the rectum and into a cooler environment, barring any unexpected ass leakage. As a friend, it's your duty to inspect the situation thoroughly before his departure. I recommend a narrow LED flashlight and a monocle to aid with this process. I can't speak on how secure S vac-seal transport is. An alternative approach would be to dissolve it in a small amount of alcohol, best, or water, and put it in a small container. Be sure it's within the volume regulations, such as mouthwash. Have your friend pack it alongside his toothpaste, etc. within a suitcase to check in his luggage. Probably avoid bringing it inside carry-on luggage. When he arrives at his destination, just let the alcohol evaporate and the product will be left behind. If he goes this route, uses the highest % alcohol you can get, so it evaporates faster. Ethanol or isopropanol will do fine. A strong vodka would work. I've never attempted this for a flight, so I can't speak on security, but it does work and will likely save your friend an uncomfortable 12 hours ride home. Edit, spelling. Post by, Stick K-Finger. Just need to conquer on McGillicuddy Jones. I ordered .5. The man mails it within 20 minutes of order. I receive it 2 days later. He gives me 2 fucking bags weighing in at .44 and .35. Unfucking real. I am talking shots. Whole glass points. This man does not fuck around. Turbo Bro and the quality to back it up. Nuff said. Post by, Hassan Isabar. Damn. I keep hearing about this bubblegum taste. Never experienced any yet, but I am looking forward to trying that flavor real soon. P.S. Good to see you back, Nomad. Post by, Nomad Bloodbath. I just call it bubblegum because it reminds me of a classic flavor of bubblegum, but it's a sweet taste. I've had the same experience with gear from Usmith. When he has some. Nomad. Post by, Work for at 69. Shit, don't tempt me more than I already am. It's been calling me for hours, and now with this revelation from you about its character, I feel like I'm being a rude host and should go over and introduce myself. Post by, Nomad Bloodbath. There's worse things than not reviewing a new product. Do you like brain damage? So rest when you need to rest and eat when you are supposed to eat, whether you think can or not. I assure you, you can. If you find yourself beyond the 48-hour mark awake, maybe set a time to pause with the tweaking and eat and get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep. There's nothing worse than dead brain cells to damper a binge. Tongue face. Nomad. Post by, Northside Epk. Always the quintessential gentleman. Post by, Synergicity. I'm really just thinking out loud, but please chime in if you have any thoughts, ideas, experiences. I did something really stupid last Friday. I was cleaning out the last of a couple of vials of meth. I keep it in little dram bottles, as I use an essential vape to smoke with, and those are used for the chamber, and I have tons of them for that and other reasons, and I dropped it all into another vial, which I thought was brand new and completely dry and empty. It was about 0.05 g, I would guess, probably a bit less. I came back Saturday morning to smoke it, and found a small puddle of what I thought was water. Damn. So I stashed the vial, with the cap off, to let it evaporate. No biggie, other than that was dangerously close to my last bits. So I came back to it again Monday morning, when it really was my last bits, expecting to see it all dried up and ready to roll. Indeed, I cannot be so lucky. 'twas the same little puddle I left behind on Saturday. It is humid here, but really? So, on closer inspection, and the good old-fashioned sniff test, I discovered it was a bit of flavoring for my electronic cigarette left over in the vial. Most likely a bit of extract in a propylene glycol base. Yum. So, what to do? Well, smoke it, of course. I screwed it on into my essential VAP, and put the fire to it. I wasn't sure what it was going to do, but after taking a bit more heat than my meth normally would need, the solution boiled a bit, it vaporized right up. No burning at all, just vaporized into nothingness, no pipe residue to speak of either, and it tasted extra flavorful too. So, naturally, it has had me thinking about doing that for real, gearing it up for use in my e-cig. In my mind, I could dilute my meth down pretty well, so I wouldn't smoke as much. I think I smoke more meth than I would need to, honestly, not because I am jonesing for it, but more because I love to smoke. I love those billowing clouds, I guess. Puff puff give. So, to organize my thoughts. Would this even work? I use an ego, and have a variable voltage 4.6V ego twist, as well as a 6V lavatube. Hot enough? It's hot enough to vaporize PG, and I am guessing it has maybe a lower vaporizing point than meth, due to the boiling in the tail above. I could dilute maybe 100 mg meth into about 5 ml of propylene glycol. With a regular e-cig, I could smoke that up in a day, but probably would go back and forth with this and my regular e-liquid. I use 0 to 3 mg per milliliter nicotine, but continue to vape like I was really doing something. Lol, do I think that would be concentrated enough or too much, and how long might it last me? Should I dilute 100 mg into 10 ml instead? Man, my bag would last forever if this would work. Perhaps I should start with a 50 mg and a 2 ml base. That sounds wiser, or is it more wise? I have taken a cursory peek around the www and seen where people are talking about dissolving their meth in ethanol or in water for this purpose. Is there any reason I couldn't just use PG? Seemed to do just fine the other day. Anything I am not thinking of? I could give Hassan his bubblegum flavor EAC. And what atomizing device would be the best to use? If I use PG as a base, clearly there will be no evaporation and recrystallizing inside an atomizer. Perhaps a tank setup? I prefer that for my weed e-liquid, nothing with polyfill. I hate wasting my drugs in polyfill. Any e-cig geeks tweakers here? I think I'm gonna try it in the morning. And hi to my friend Nomad. Good to see you. Remember our conversation about my essential VAP meth smoking? I still like it a lot. I get huge billowing hits without losing anything to that giant vent hole in the bubble pipe, which you convinced me to try a few months back, but is not tough enough to make it through my lack of gracefulness. What do you do with a broken meth pipe anyway? Someone is going to want to try on my pink boots one day, and I'm going to forget it stashed in there. Lol. And with that, I am going to bed. I am reaching dangerously near Nomad's 48 hours deadline and getting closer to not getting 6 hours of much-needed sleep. Thanks again, Dark, and Professor Twack, who came through with super speedy friendliness today, by the way. You cats have a great night. See you in the morn. Post by Bob Arctor. Okay, so I did meth for the first time last weekend, and I don't see the big deal about it. Did I underdose? Do I have tolerance from speed? I snorted 30 mg. It gave me some clean stimulation and I wasn't tired anymore, but I get as high from 50 mg of speed. Night before taking meth I did a few lines of speed. Could the tolerance be the issue? Any input, guys? At this time I feel that meth is a huge waste of money, and I'd rather do 10x cheaper speed, when I need that extra energy. Post by Bob Arctor. I got it from Crystal Wife. They have good reviews, so I doubt it's cut a lot. IV is out of question for me. As for vaping, would Liebald vaporizer work? Post by Gooey Dog. I tried it for the first time recently and didn't get what all the hype was about either, but then vaped a bit on foil. Chasing the Dragon like, and that was a lot better. I then bought a glass ball meth pipe and there was no going back to snorting. I normally love sniffing stuff but not this. Post by Digitalding. I've said this a few times in the forums. Some dope is better for sniffing and some stuff is meant to smoke. I had some fire dope that I snorted and I couldn't even fucking see straight. I felt like I was rolling balls. But then I put it in a pipe and shit just disappeared. Shit's funny like that. Gotta experiment. I got a small oral syringe in which I will try to mix the crystal/water solution and inject into my urethra and see how high that get me. Gotta remember to pee first. Tongue face wish me luck. Post by Stick K Finger. Please tell me you're kidding, for fuck's sake man. It's meth bro. An intense drug right out the gate with multiple ways of ingestion and you choose the weirdest route ever? I guess it's more heterosexual than but chugging it. You literally will have crystal dick, a term used for people who take amphetamine stuff and have small dicks due to the body going into fight or flight, and concerts blood to the torso, away from extremities, cause the penis to be turbo softy. Post by Digitalding. So what you're saying is that I should do an but shot. I think a turkey baster would work best, and then a penis shot at the same time to counterbalance out the softy dick. Post by RR. Hey guys, we'll do a report Prof T later, all good, and Crystal wife when I can be fucked, been up with raging toothache for 4 days and nights now and the Prof T package came yesterday and CW's just turned up now lol, going to be another long night. Should start to see shit tonight, that's my fav part lol. Oh, and CW's was bone dry this time and 50 milligrams overweight, so well done CW, and Prof T will be BKPT first. I think hey luck out for me professor, there is an hallucinating English man on the loose haha. Post by Work for it 69. Thanks for the concern Nomad, nice to know people are looking out. I haven't gone on a real 5 to 7 day run with no food or sleep for many years now though. The majority of my binges these days end after 2 or 3 straight days. I then take at least 5 days off before doing it again. On occasion though, after getting to bed after a regular run, I'll wake up and continue, but have never gone longer than 9 days like this and will still sleep and eat on the 2nd or 3rd day. This was one of those times. So I opted out and went to bed last night and am going into restore mode for the next 5 to 6 days. I prefer to test out a product on its own anyhow and when I am running on full. Till then. Post by Work for it 69. I was in your same shoes a while back and didn't get all the fuss either, yet it turned out that the meth I was getting was the kind that gave you the head thing more than the body thing. Like you, I crave the other more physical high which more closely resembles speed, the one that runs through your body and makes your heart race. I suggest you try out a different dealer. I found that Heisenberg had the high that most resembled speed. Keep your doses small while trying out different batches though, because when you find the right one it will get you going longer, harder, and faster than speed ever did. Also, you can do this without smoking injecting. I still snort only. Don't let these glass dick fiends convince you of anything different. Snorting has 80% bioavailability and smoking has 90% with a margin of error of +/10%. Post by Hassan Isabar. I remember the very first few times I chased the dragon with meth. It totally blew me away because it made me feel exactly like chasing heroin did. Then again years later I was diagnosed with AD. I gotta say I like meth a hell of a lot more than Ritalin. Post by RR. Right, I have started taking moves to becoming a solid meth vendor. I have got some, it's going to be an uphill battle to get it started, but a little hail and support. I have 9 listing for 0.1 Gs, 100 milligrams, that I need to sell. After that I will be owie goes, I can then buy on January 8th. So if you lot would like to see another meth vendor, why not buy one for the course, and once I am really going I will look after them 9 people. So come on, all pull together and we will never go short again. Post by Cacaoths. I'm thinking if you run into your urethra a solution with a high pH like what you're prepping will almost certainly have, you are going to experience the most excruciating pain of your life. Jesus Christ, I hope you're just kidding, and that I missed the punchline. Somehow something wrong with sniffing, eating, smoking, injecting or even plugging? That's just fucking weird, man. Post by DK Monk. Man, and 1/8 is going to be gone in like less than 4 hours on here. Lol, you should just get all the money you can and at least get a ½ ounce or an ounce if possible, because SMF fans are like a pack of rabid wolves, so once a legit vendor with product come out they pounce. Too bad not too many legit vendors stay long without hiccups every other month. I miss Vroom. I wonder whatever happened to him actually. He was definitely one of the most reliable and then fell off and never got back on actually. On another note, I got to try some local crystal for free because someone owed me $100, but decided that I didn't want my actual money. I loaned them and gave me crystal instead. Let's just say a gram lasted me a few hours at most. Where a 0.15 of some shit from here would have got me good for 5 or 6. This is considered the best in town too. Lol. Post by RR. Lol, I know, but if I just do UK to start as only a handful of pairs into it, so it will give me time to build stock before I go worldwide. Post by DK Monk. That is understandable. Is your crystal from the UK or Europe? Or is it imported? I think it is neat when European countries have their own homemade gear. It spices things up, instead of having the same old Mexican cartel crystal. Post by Stick K-Finger. Said it before and I'll say it again, vendor McGillicuddy Jones. Price, high. Product, higher. Communication, fast. Shipment, faster. His shit gave me straight up rain boners. D. Post by Boss Shog 1. Must have been free. Post by Digitalding. Meth Strike. Fim, fuck your motherfuckers, I am tired of shit crystal. Tired of waiting 2 weeks just for a met vendor to send. I will not pay PVE 150 for a gram of meth. Who the fuck is with Spartacus? Let's all boycott these bastards until three shit gets straight. They all get high on their own supply, so naturally they fuck up. This used to be okay to me, but now it's just pissing me the fuck off. PLS meth buyers, let's take a stand against the evil empire that has become meth vendors. Fim. This is GTTING to be beyond silly. I hate this game here. It's becoming like using dope on the streets. Who's with me? Who can out the pipe down for a month? I'd let these greedy fucks feel the sting. Post by RR. Current bit is something local I picked up and it's really nice, but I can't get huge amounts. I'd need to keep you lot going. Lol, so I will be buying of the one and only McGillicuddy Jones for my SR stock. People who are into meth in UK have very little options. It's normally a case of one hell of a long wait or buy coke. I am hoping to change that. Post by Manor Threat 71. I still put it in water or juice and drink it with hypertension and tachycardia. I'd rather than not risk it. Okay, I did snort it once, but it made little difference other than burn my fucking face off. Besides, this way I can still trick myself into thinking it's not really drugs. Post by Wadozo. Digitalding, while I can understand you're frustrated with the meth scene here on SR, particularly with some of the vendors happy to sell their customers shit gear and still charge top dollar for it, you'll end up giving yourself a heart attack from all the anger and hostility building up inside of you, ready to blow like a volcano. You're right in saying that undoubtedly the biggest problem with these vendors is they're all smoking the best of their own gear, then while tweaking off their nuts, having been up for days, they are effectively trying to run a business in between smoking some more shards. I would be too if I could. However, mistakes are going to be made, and with the meth crowd, that's the nature of the beast. Post by RR. Haha, thanks that. I am sitting here telling myself no more meth for 2 weeks after a 4-day bender, and I also know I got 1/2 G coming off him. Now how am I going to tell myself no now I got your comment ringing in my ears? Lol, is it really that good? Post by Hassan Isabar. Hey doubled, I am more than supportive of outing any vendors that perpetrate any kind of shitty service or outright fraud here on ESSA, but I can no do with regards to quitting the shard or even think of it for the time being. To say yes would be a total and complete lie. BC, I am a straight out drug addict, but I have no hesitation whatsoever in exposing scammers. Back in the day when I was an H junkie, I would promise my wife, my parents, friends, and even myself that I'd quit fixing but I'd break the promise the very next day. I just cannot lie to anyone else or myself anymore. This is who I am straight up and I can accept this aspect of myself. By the way, who the fuck is Spartacus in relation to the SA meth scene? Never even heard of him before. Wanna elaborate on this vendor so I don't ever order from him? Does he even have a listing here? On another front, news that sucks ass. I got a PM from Dark Cappuccino, who told me his connect got busted. I don't know exactly what the implications are for his promising new career here as a solid meth vendor on the road. But I hope he can weather the storm and wish him all the best in evading the clutches of the prohibitionist evil empire. Damn, and I was hoping to order from him as soon as I replenish my account. His prices were unbeatable. Well, it looks like my next order will be with McGill Jones. Sounds like product and service I can count on in these trying times in the meth scene. Man. I am so looking forward to that bubblegum flavor. Post by Pinkman. Are you serious? Dark Coffee Sauce got popped? I just noticed he began gram listings again and was about to order a sample. Now this is me wondering whether he's even got it in stock. That's really bad news. He looked really promising. Post by Synergicity. Post by Tweedledum. Just got a package from McGillicuddy Johns. 3 days from order to delivery. No drama. I ordered, got a DCN, then waited a couple of days for the package to arrive. Package was overweight, and by 10% or more. Nice dope, treat it gently with the heat or it'll taste nasty. Gentle heat and you'll get hookah clouds of meth vape. There really isn't any reason to buy meth from anyone else on SR. Post by Stick K-Finger. McGillicuddy Johns is the vendor for this. Seriously, I can't stress that enough. The man overweighed mine by almost double and this shit lasts. It's fucking potent. Post by Pinkman. Well, there is that little issue of the $50 plus / gram price differential. Post by Stick K-Finger. Yeah, and it's a risk I took, and was rewarded greatly with speed of delivery and above all else quality. I loved hits. Post by Mossman. Noted. Post by Mossman. More like taking it up the ass with a smile on your face. Fuck price gouging vendors. Post by Stick K-Finger. Yeah, man. I took it in the ass buying for a product that was selling at a YET of 0.5 and came in at 0.80 of pure glass. Get a fucking grip, you dumb fuck. I am giving you the info. A good vendor with great speed and product that takes care of his customer and has a 100% feedback. Or get a better job, you cheap fuck. Post by Stick K-Finger. Yeah man, not too sure. I would be pissed if there isn't over the pond action. I seriously cannot stress how much mileage and overall fucking top of the line talkness you get on small points, to sniff, of slightly higher for oral dosage goes from this champion. And I always keep in good ties with the man, ask him I guessed hits. Post by Mossman. Nothing personal, just pointing out that your premium investment is nothing more than standard service. It's a shame that others have trouble maintaining such standards, but the fact is, you're advocating paying $50 extra for no fucking reason. All these high prices do is raise the price. Look at PT, look at Hessenberg, have they raised the bar with their prices? Number, they're just copying these other greedy fucks, which you were so happy to get fucked by, and have the nerve to justify. Wow. Every vendor has always been overweight by at least that much. You dipshit, are you new to this? Or do you enjoy getting fucked out of your money? How about everyone on ESA raises their price by $50 and say, hey, at least I deliver so I deserve it. Fuck that, and fuck you, fuck McGillicuddy too. Hurl some more insults if that's what it takes to convince yourself you didn't get fucked. Post by Cacawaths. +1 Kamafa Kingati for that. Post by Maria Winasmi Muse. It's been a crazy couple of weeks while I try to source out a new supplier with some quality gear and wait for the strip tests to get, and it would seem that regardless of paying for an ordering express is something they don't do. Sure, they take our express money and then don't ship. Testing strips showed up yesterday and the results from the last Batch looked pretty poor, light blue-yellow, so I'm guessing mainly 2i with a bit of crystal inside of it. I apologize to all buyers who were affected by this mishap. I've also found some new suppliers and tested their gear, and one of them turned a nice shade of green. I've picked up a few ounces and will be getting pics of both the product and the test results posted up. I'll also be providing reships to the buyers who ordered the 2 weeks prior to June 6 when these reports started coming out, and will contact you directly once I have pics up. Again, my apologies for the inconvenience caused to all. I had no idea that anything had been added to the batch after all the positive feedback I had received. Whether it was my supplier involved or someone higher up the chain, I have no idea, but I am no longer doing business with them and have gone to a new source. Additionally, I now have so many fucking Marquis and Medellin tests on hand that I can periodically test and post pics of new batches so people can see the actual chemical results and avoid this problem in the future. While I have been off trying to get this arranged, you may have had some terse, upsetting or unsettling replies while I was away. While I was trying to get everything sorted, my little brother was handling messages for me. He usually does order fulfillment, and as such isn't fully aware of who all the buyers are, the purchases and quantities that they order. So again, sorry if you felt slated on the responses. I've since gone over with him who orders a lot or regularly and provided him with the ESA buyers' names, encrypted of course, so that should not be an issue anymore. Once I get the pics up tomorrow, or later today cause it's already 6 AM here, I'll contact the buyers who purchase in the time leading up to that and see if they want their order reshipped free of charge, and should have that shipped on Monday before resuming regular sales on Monday. Oh, and on another note, I'm also now stocking 2 mg clomazepam and 180-205 UG MDMA Armani exchange pills, which I'll ASLO throw up a pic of the test results as a preemptive quality control strike on this end. Sorry for the delay getting this out to everyone. I've traveled across 3 provinces and who know how many cities trying to source a good supply. Thanks to all for you patience, and I'll be working hard to restore your trust. Sincerely, MJMUSE. Post by Maria Winalesme Muse. Replacement order for buyer the last week of May and the first week of June will be sent free of charge, though you would have to pay for express shipping if you desire it, $15 CAD. Post by Gory Dog. Yay, I second that. Fair play for offering to make things right with those people. It will not go unnoticed if followed through, and as you have learned from this mistake and will be testing batches properly from now on, then I'm sure all will be forgiven. I know if it was me affected, I would be happy with a reship of good gear and an apology, along with the knowledge this won't happen again. Post by Whatever Works. If we all pitch in, we can split it and get a grain each. Who's in? Post by Costello 143. Bravo Mim. That is the real way of professionalism. Waiting on your reshipment. We'll edit the feedback too. Post by Cacaoeths. Vendors. There are a few of you I'd order from if you would simply utilize PGP. It isn't that difficult, and doesn't take that much extra time to decrypt a message. If you're overloaded with messages, then you aren't doing it right. It means that either your orders are delayed, or that the information on your vendor's page is not clear, or possibly both of the above scenarios. I'm not sending my ADI unencrypted, and I'm not using fucking Provnode to use it. I have to enable JavaScript, and that's a no-no when I'm on here. Thank you for your consideration, Kako. Post by Lawnmower. Kudos to Mim for being honest. It's amazing how my confidence in this community constantly increases. I have probably said this before, but Crystal Wife is a great vendor. Really have absolutely nothing to fault with him her it. The service is lightning fast, the packaging is really foolproof, and the meth is good. Smokes pretty clean and is mostly tasteless. Also, the product was right on weight. The prices are pretty steep, though I am Europe-based and have never seen this stuff on the streets, so I don't have anything to compare it to. At least the price limits consumption. I can't say whether it would be worth ordering from him if you are in the US or Ross, however. The shipping may take a while and the US vendors seem cheaper. All I can say is that the mechanics of the CW operation are flawless. Post by Scarface. I believe CW's shipping to be just fine to all. Post by, Wadozo. I've been telling people on here how good Crystal Wife is now for a while. I couldn't agree with you more in everything you've said. They are extremely professional in everything they do. I live in Austin, and as far as successful orders go, I am 14/14 from CW, with the quickest being 4 days and the longest taking 8 days. 8. I can buy 2.5 Gs from CW for approximately $360-$400, whereas if I purchased just 1 G from a local vendor, it would cost me approximately $650. I have nothing against any of our local vendors as they offer a quick service without the risk of customs for buyers who may not like having to wait or don't want to take the risk of ordering from overseas. CW is flawless in how they run their operation and will keep getting my business when the service is just so good. Post by, Keto Jigdaxivin. Anyone seen Professor Fitwick for a while? SR says not online for 4 days now, which is how long I've had an order open with him for. Was hoping to try his product and hoped the delays I've seen from him might have been fixed up by now. Post by, Sixes. Anyone dealt successfully with WG recently? Package has not arrived, extremely surprising since I've never lost a package and his packaging is top notch, and it's been about 5 days and 2 PMs without a response. Had one previous order from him which took a while but was great otherwise. Edit, 5 days since I PM'd, not ordered. It's been almost a month since ordering and usual orders from his country too. Mine take 8 to 14 days. Post by, Harpua 25. $650 a gram? Jesus fucking Christ. Post by, X8MX. Just received from Say, was here within 2 days of ship date, same great packaging and product, not to mention weight a little heavy. Say did me a huge favor, more like a kindness at the price I obtained this for. I ordered from him once before that shit went down with him and it was immaculate. Second time around, even more immaculate, I almost feel like I ripped him off. He's a great person to deal with, at least in my experience. I really do hope he's here to stay. Can't say thank you enough. Say. I'm gonna switch it up and IV a point and update on quality. Thank you again sir, you are a lifesaver. Post by, Toajama. Say has delivered consistently good gear at a great price with speedy delivery. An almost impossibility in the realm of the SR. I look forward to his return. Post by, X8MX. Amen to that. Good product just like last time, however I give up on IVing meth. I banged a point, 0.1, and nothing in the way of a rush. I've tried this twice before with pretty much the same effects. Smoking it just provides more euphoria with less product, for me at least. Paradoxical. Anyway, Say's shit burns real nice and clear, feels good man, take care folks. Post by, Prof T. Hey, I just wanted to pop on here and say that I am again locked out of my account due to a password issue. I've been locked out since Wednesday night. Now, I would like to sit here and say that SR's password recovery process sucks, and it does, but the fact is that I ate some benzos after a long 4-day stretch and I changed my password as part of an evolving security strategy, and well, fuck benzos. So I just wanted to jump in and say that I'm not responding to people. You can see when I last was logged in on my profile, I believe. Even though it is hard to believe that most people don't do a lot of research on buyers, the majority of people do not read these forums. So the customer service impact is about the same to me. The delivery aspect shouldn't be affected by such events. Having said that, I shipped a lot of orders today. I'm not comfortable doing this without going through my little audit process, but I don't want to be crucified over waiting either. So, orders from last week have been mailed with a exception of 2 people, Kaigan Pipeline. You'll get a PM from my member account. As I get back in I'll try and touch base with everyone, but first off I have to audit and PM those I did send and all the folks marked in transit. That will take several hours, please be patient. Since there is always calling bullshit, here is the original email to SR support, vendor support, I am about to pull my hair out, I'm locked out again, please. So, I reset my password on my vendor account, Professor Twack, and had no issues, or so I thought. Then I get the PIN. Reset, no issues, I thought. Well, no dice today. I am starting to get paranoid and shit. I'm sure it is user error, but still. Hurting me bad. So I'm going to ask to be reset once more, and this time I swear that I will maintain a very strict regimen including PGP storage. So I'm really sorry, and I swear this will be the last time. I'm not sure if I should have the PIN reset too, but I'll leave that to your discretion. Thanks so much, and I am so sorry. 4 days read. Now, I want to say the guy at ESSA is a very helpful guy, and I've been so keyed up about this I've sent too many PMs. Just like you all send me and I can't get to, well, I'm sure his situation is far more daunting. So, I want to be clear that while I am upset and inconvenienced, it was my fault. Again, and it was at the beginning of the weekend. Again. I've got some loyal motherfuckers in my corner on ESSA, and without you, I would have said goodbye after the first fuck up 2 weeks, and so I appreciate you guys more than you know. I wish I could have come through for all customers in the last 3 months, but some were very jaded over 4/20 or something else. Take the poster Kendricks for example, man, he's ordered twice. Both times have been fucked up, and both times I had to refund. He'll never buy again. I wouldn't either. Hell, I don't know how I get new orders with a 90 approval, but trust me, I do. But that is an example of a good buyer who doesn't require much communication, that probably thinks I am one sorry-ass vendor, and in his case he is right. I just want to acknowledge that I would try to appease all people in that way if there was time. But the machine keeps on rolling and orders keep me so busy it is hard to go back and repair sometimes. I swear when I get time I am going to write a vendor guide that explains all the mistakes an ESSA vendor can make, complete with reasons for the policy, pro and con, and the ultimate solution based on experience. Of course, I probably wouldn't have read it anyway, but oh well. I'm doing admin for today's mailings, but I will answer PMs on here tonight if I am still locked out or otherwise. You can PM my member account, Professor Retardo. I am in there and can answer you. Post by, TPEBOP. In my experience, Starlight Express is the best meth vendor on the road. Fair prices, fast shipping, excellent packaging and great product, not to mention he is a hell of a great guy. I honestly can't wait for him to come back so I can send him some coin and enjoy more of his fine product. Post by, Cacaoaths. Wow, that is pretty bizarre to bang a point and feel nothing. I would say bunk gear, but since you smoke it and get the desired effect, that's obviously not the case. One of the mysteries of pharmacology, I guess. Post by, Hassan Sabar. Dude, I applaud you for taking responsibility for this fucked up situation, or mishap, and have even extended my resolution due date for a week in the hopes that you are going to make good on your promise here on the reviews thread. Please restore my faith in meth vendors. I am begging you. Fuck. I am dying for a good bowl. I look at the floor and I see it needs sweeping. Post by, 4903KMN1D. Thanks for the post, Prof T, good luck with getting it all sorted. Post by, Ketoljigdaxivin. Thanks for the update, Prof, was starting to get worried. Just PM'd your other id on ESSA to check regarding my order. Thanks, buddy. Post by, Hassan Sabar. While I am still waiting to hear back from MIM, I noticed that there are 2 new meth vendors on the scene, and as far as I am concerned the more the merrier. Dark Cappuccino has his listings back up. His product service prices are excellent thus far, and then there is this other new kid in town, Xandmore. Does anybody know anything about this vendor? As it stands right now, these 2, and Crystal Wife with a good rep so far, are the only ones that I am willing to consider. The other vendors are either too expensive, McGill Jones, or their recent product service unpredictable WG. And well, you know, or downright risky, Heisenberg, big schemes. If anyone begs to differ with my observations, by all means share your wealth of knowledge here on the forum. Update, Xandmore didn't reply back to my inquiry. Whatever won't be ordering from him. Did I mention that I am still waiting for him to deliver? Yet with fingers crossed. Post by, Costello 143. I hope you will resend me because when I receive the letter I always finalize before testing. Now I hope Mim will resend an order to the users who have finalized. Applause for his taking of responsibility. Post by, Prof T. Well, I'm still locked out. I'm not sure what to do. I shipped all the orders I have the information for. Basically that is all I can do. It will be a week tomorrow. Anyone got any connections over there at vendor support? I'm trying to be patient, but I definitely understand what it feels like to not get a PM answered. If you have an order pending, it is LKELY listed as late since it has been over 4 days since I've logged in. Feel free to cancel if you like. If not, I will mail as soon as I get a login guaranteed. Trust me, I'd like to be able to get some cash myself. It's all tied up in my account and wishing I used auto withdrawal. Fuck. Sorry guys. Prof T.